Here we are, AFC Conference Championship weekend, and the Denver Broncos are playing the New England Patriots. Wait, what year is it? What's up, Broncos country? My name is Brandon Gilchrist. Well, here we are. Our Denver Broncos are one of 4 teams left standing. They've met every challenge head on and have quieted a few doubters in the process. And now they face their biggest challenge yet. They're hosting the number 2 seeded New England Patriots, who come into Denver after demolishing the Houston Texans. The Broncos won't be at full strength, but make no mistake, they are not going to be lying down either. Let's get right into this matchup. The Patriots ended the season tied with your Denver Broncos at 14-3. Their head coach, Mike Vrabel, returned home in 2025 after previously being the head coach of the Titans from 2018 to 2023. And prior to that, he was actually the linebackers coach and defensive coordinator for the Houston Texans from 2014 to 2017. Now, Vrabel is a New England son after playing linebacker for the Patriots from 2001 to 2008, winning 3 Super Bowls in the process. Upon his return as head coach, he's orchestrated one of the greatest turnarounds we've seen in a long time. The Patriots went 4-13 in 2024 and now sit 1 game away from the Super Bowl in 2025. Your Denver Broncos took care of business against everyone's favorite quarterback and team that was left in the playoffs, the Buffalo Bills. They now face their toughest challenge yet against the Patriots without their franchise quarterback. You're seeing the team and Broncos country rally around Jarrett Stidham and the Broncos in this tough moment. Now, Stiddy's a very capable backup in his 3rd year in the Sean Payton system, and he's been right by Bo's side the whole time. The good news is the Patriots have to come to Denver, and that stadium is going to bring the energy on Sunday. I know I will. Let's talk about the Broncos defense versus the Patriots offense. Now, the Broncos defense put on a really solid performance against the Buffalo Bills last Saturday. Though the Bills were able to move the ball, the Broncos defense was able to generate 5 takeaways, 2 interceptions, and 3 fumbles. Additionally, they added 3 sacks, 10 quarterback hits, and 4 total forced fumbles, though the Bills recovered 2. They knew the task wasn't stopping Josh Allen, it was containing him. And that's exactly what they did. When we look at the Patriots offense, it's coordinated by Josh McDaniels, a very familiar face for the Broncos, an extremely accomplished offensive coordinator for the Patriots who has 6 Super Bowl rings. Now in his 3rd stint with the Patriots, he was with them from 2001 to 2008, 2011 to 2021, and then again for the first time in 2025. In between those stints, he was head coach for your Broncos in 2009 and 2010, and also head coach for the Raiders in 2022 and 2023. The Patriots offense ended the season 3rd in the league, producing 379.4 total yards a game, 250.5 yards passing, good for 4th, and 128.9 yards rushing on the ground, good for 6th. They were the NFL's 2nd-ranked scoring offense, generating 28.8 points a game. They're also the NFL's 6th best 3rd down offense, converting 42.9% of their 3rd downs. And they're the NFL's 17th best red zone offense, with 57.1% touchdown conversion. They're top 10 in taking care of the football with only 16 giveaways. The Patriots offense is a modern NFL offense with a lot of traditional under-center roots. In this iteration, they're much more vertical attacking than they were with previous iterations where they were more methodical with moving down the field when they were with Brady. There's more mobility concepts, allowing their quarterback to use play action and rollouts. They also have incorporated RPOs, and they complement that all with an outside zone running attack, similar to what the Broncos saw when they faced Buffalo. Their running backs also line up for pass routes to try to exploit different personnel matchups. This offense likes to be aggressive and is not afraid to throw down the field, even when they have a lead. Now, this offense did just enough to get past the Texans. They weren't able to capitalize on all the turnovers that their defense created. Drake May had a little bit of a tough game with 3 turnovers, including 4 fumbles, losing 2. They ran for just over 100 yards. Frankly, I would expect this team to continue doing what it's always done. Very similar to the Green Bay Packers and the Buffalo Bills. I would expect with the proficiency of Drake May that this team is still going to want to try the Broncos deep, and they're going to have to respond. They'll rush to ensure there's some balance in how they attack, and they may even use that to try to protect Drake May a bit from the Broncos' pass rush. It'll be interesting to see if they deploy a little bit more quick game to try to eliminate some of the pressure that Drake may feel on the road in Mile High. Now, the Patriots O-line had some trouble protecting Drake May from all the pressure that he experienced in 2025. They allowed 38.3% pressure rate, which is good for 27th in the NFL. They got a little bit better in the playoffs, only allowing 28.8% pressure. Like I said, I expect them to want to leverage their run game in this one, and they have two very capable backs in the backfield, starting with Ramondre Stevenson. A very similar skill set to what we saw in James Cook. He's 6 feet, 227 pounds. He's a bit more of a one cut and go, but does have the ability to be a bit shifty in the backfield and break a few tackles. He's an every down back that can also catch passes out of the backfield. So this is going to be deja vu for the Broncos defense. In 2025, Ramondre Stevenson produced 603 yards on the ground, averaging 4.6 yards a carry, 7 touchdowns, and 3 fumbles. This past Sunday, he had a very productive day with 16 carries for 70 yards, averaging 4.4 yards a carry. His partner in the backfield is rookie Travion Henderson, a little bit of a lighter back at 5'10", 202 pounds. He's fast, has great patience, full pass catching capability, and he thrives best in those outside runs. He's the rushing leader for the Patriots this year, but has really had an up and down season, sometimes with his production falling completely off a cliff. In 2025, he produced 911 yards on the ground at a 5.1 yard average, 9 touchdowns. He also added 221 yards receiving and 1 touchdown to his production. On Sunday, this is one of those walls that I was just talking about. He had 12 carries, but only produced 25 yards on the ground. These running backs will need to help out their QB, second-year quarterback Drake May, who had such a stellar season that he's actually in consideration for MVP of the regular season in 2025. Drafted 3rd overall in 2024, he's the prototypical size draft experts look for at 6'4", 225 pounds. He's a dual threat QB with great accuracy and touch on the football. He excels at throwing down the field. In 2025, he had a 72% completion rate, good for 4,394 yards, 31 touchdowns, and only 8 interceptions. He also added 450 yards rushing and 4 rushing touchdowns. On top of his efficiency, he's been excellent against the blitz. His one main challenge in the 2025 regular season, he was sacked 47 times, and that's continued in the postseason as well, being sacked 5 times in each of those games. He's done just enough this postseason to help his team get the win. This past Sunday, he was 16 of 27, 179 yards, 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. In addition to that, he had 4 fumbles, losing 2 of them. Thankfully, he has some great targets to go to, number 1 being Stefon Diggs, a veteran receiver who is part of helping the emergence of Josh Allen in Buffalo. He's had a great 2025 campaign, and it's continued into the playoffs. An elite route runner with great body control and ability to high point the ball. He is definitely one of Drake May's safety blankets. In 2025, he produced 85 receptions for 1,013 yards, 4 touchdowns, and on Sunday, he was a bit quieter with 4 receptions for 40 yards, but was also responsible for a touchdown right when they needed it. Drake May's other favorite wide receiver target is Kayshon Boutte. More of a speedster wide receiver, he runs excellent routes, he's elusive after the catch, has been responsible for 10 receptions over 20 yards in 2025, so he's the deep threat for the Patriots. Overall, he produced 33 receptions for 551 yards, but also hauled in 5 receiving touchdowns, and on Sunday, he had 3 receptions for 75 yards and a touchdown. So he's a production machine. We'll also be keeping an eye on the health report for receiver Matt Collins, who's also a receiving threat. Keep an eye on the health report at the end of this video to find out game statuses and see if he'll actually be playing. The other safety blanket that Drake May leverages is his tight end, Hunter Henry. At 6'5", 250 pounds, he is a complete tight end that can block, run excellent routes, and is really great at spatial awareness. They use him inside and outside on the line of scrimmage, and in 2025, he hauled in 60 receptions for 768 yards, 7 touchdowns. And on Sunday, it was a really quiet day for him with only 1 reception for 5 yards. But we know the Broncos' challenges with covering tight ends, so this is one we're definitely going to need to be on top of. So what's the plan for all 11 on Broncos defense versus this Patriots offense? Number 1, take away the whoobies. I just mentioned that Drake May's 2 security blankets are Stefon Diggs and Hunter Henry. We need to force Drake May to go somewhere else with the football. Create frustration for Diggs, have him chattering in his quarterback's ears that he wants to get the football, even if we're blanketing him coverage. Who knows? Drake may put the ball up, and that gives us the opportunity to pick it off and give our offense some extra possessions. The Broncos secondary is fully capable. And whether it's using zone or man coverage, they should be able to take away these two and force Drake May to not only have to look elsewhere, but also deal with the pressure of our pass rush at the same time. And that brings us to number 2. Pressure. Pushing down on you. Despite Drake May's performance in 2025, he's still a young QB, and like most QBs, susceptible to giving up the ball when their clock is sped up. Use the run blitz to contain Henderson and Stevenson while getting to the quarterback. The Broncos love to deploy the cage rush, and they're likely to do it in this one as well, but their priority should be forcing the ball to stay in Drake May's hands. This will be the Broncos' second opportunity to redeem themselves after allowing James Cook to get going this past Saturday. All right, let's take a look at the Broncos offense versus the Patriots defense. The Broncos got the job done at home on Saturday against the Bills, producing 349 total yards of offense, converting 50% on third down, passing for 3 touchdowns, and keeping themselves out of penalty situations. The O-line has been good all year protecting their quarterback, and this time around, they're going to have someone different behind center, so they're really going to need to make sure they answer the bell. In the divisional round, they only allowed 20% pressure, which is even lower than their season average. They're going to need to block their butts off on Sunday so that Stidham has time. And they may be getting some reinforcements. Center Luke Wattenberg has started practicing and has been designated for a return. Again, keep an eye on those health reports at the end of this video to find out game statuses. Another way to protect Stidham is going to be with the run game. And we've got J.K. Dobbins back on the practice field. Before Dobbins went out, in 10 games, he averaged 5 yards a carry and had produced 772 yards on the ground with 4 touchdowns before going out. His abilities on the ground created the consistency that's been missing from the Broncos offense in the back half of the year. Now, both RJ and Jaleel were part of putting the ball on the ground this past Saturday, so I would imagine their responsibilities may shift just a bit if J.K. Dobbins comes back. I wouldn't expect him to be a full go in the game. We may actually see 4 running backs activated with J.K., Jaleel, RJ, and Bidet all getting the call. And we know the Broncos won't have Bo Nix behind center in this one, but we have a very capable backup in Jarrett Stidham getting the call. He's a veteran who's been in the league since 2019. He has prior stints in New England and Las Vegas. A very sought-after capable backup at 6'3", 215 pounds. He's smart, accurate, and will stand in the pocket and make all of the throws. And he actually tends to attack the middle of the field a bit more than Bo does, which means this could be what we've been calling for all year, an Evan Ingram game. They showed a lot of chemistry in the offseason and during training camp. Who knows? Maybe now is the time to make that bet on Evan Ingram having a productive game. Now, while he's not mobile, Jarrett Stidham is fully capable of executing the play action and rollouts. He will absolutely pick up yards with his feet to keep the chains moving. Sunday will be his 5th start. We're hoping he'll have his full arsenal of targets to throw to. With both Troy Franklin and Pat Bryant going out this past Saturday, they are practicing this week on a limited capacity, so here's hoping that they're a full go come Sunday. In the meantime, the Broncos signed Brandon Johnson to their practice squad and also have Michael Bandy, who's been elevated before, available if they're needed. When it comes to the Patriots defense, it's coordinated by Terrell Williams. He was hired as defensive coordinator in 2025. Prior to that, he was the defensive line and run game coordinator in Detroit in 2024, and also the assistant head coach and defensive lineman coach for Tennessee from 2018 to 2023. Now, they have a little bit of an interesting setup in New England with the linebackers coach Zach Kerr actually calling plays. Terrell Williams at one point went out with health issues, and they kept that arrangement after he returned. Now, the Patriots defense ended 2025 as the 8th ranked defense in the league, allowing 295.2 yards a game. 193.5 yards passing, good for 9th. 101.7 yards rushing, good for 6th. And 18.8 points a game, good for 4th. They're the NFL's 12th best third down defense, allowing a 38.5% conversion, and the NFL's 30th best red zone defense, allowing 67.5% touchdown conversion. They're 19th in takeaways with 19. Now, the Patriots run an aggressive hybrid 3-4 base defense, often using 4 down linemen and mixed coverages like quarters with man and zone to disguise exactly what they're doing. They also do a lot of simulated pressure, using a lot of hybrid players that can play multiple positions to confuse QBs. In the postseason, this defense has really turned it up a notch and been incredibly physical and relentless. In the wildcard round, they actually blitzed 45.5% of dropbacks, much higher than their regular season average. The Broncos are going to need to meet that physicality and make sure that Jarrett Stidham has all the time he needs to deliver the football. In their front seven, they have some playmakers, starting with defensive end Milton Williams. He's a versatile pass rusher that can play inside and outside on that line. He's disruptive to the football and has been called relentless when it comes to his pursuit to the ball. He's generated 3.5 sacks this year. Additionally, they have outside linebackers Harold Landry III, who's a speed rusher, excellent acceleration and get off, who's generated 8.5 sacks in 2025. He didn't practice on Monday, but keep an eye on the health reports to find game statuses. They have another linebacker in Kaylavon Chason, who's also a speed rusher, but has the ability to drop back in coverage. Think of like a Derwin James from the Chargers. He himself has also generated 7.5 sacks this season. In coverage, there's a couple DBs to keep an eye on, starting with cornerback Christian Gonzalez, who's fast, physical, an all-around great cover corner. He's allowed only 36% completion in 2025. It'll be interesting to see if he follows Cortland Sutton or just plays the side of the field, which he has done at times. Additionally, they have a very capable nickelback, just like the Broncos do, in Marcus Jones, who's produced 3 interceptions this year. So what's the Broncos' offensive plan for all 11 against this Patriots defense? Number 1, keep it simple. Stidham hasn't taken any real game snaps in 2 years. That's a fact. There's no need to outsmart ourselves here, and the Patriots know that. We're gonna need to run the ball. But we can get creative in the run game, using misdirection, multiple back sets, use end arounds, leveraging Evan Ingram or Marvin Mims to get the ball in our playmakers' hands as quick as possible. Use play action, run dump offs, where we looks like we're gonna hand off one way, allow the running back to get out of the backfield and then dump it off to him there in space. We know RJ's great at catching the football and run after catch. Complement that run game, of course, with the passing game, but that doesn't mean play scared. Attack the middle of the field, and I'd love to see us try them deep early to remind them that they're in our house and we're not afraid. We should also use extra protection, especially at the start of this game, with our running backs, tight ends, or extra O linemen out there to give Stidham time to find rhythm and get into the game since it's been a minute. Number 2 for this offense, make Stidham right. What do I mean by this? We already know the chemistry with Stidham and the rest of the offense isn't going to be there like it was with Bo, but everybody around him can make sure that no matter what he does, it's right. Runners, when the ball is handed off to you, don't get cute. Just make sure you get positive yards and fall forward after contact. Receivers, show your numbers. Make sure Stidham can see you. Be fearless in the middle of the field. Make it your personal mission to be allergic to the ball being on the ground. When it's in the air, go get it. Don't wait for it to get to you. For the O-line, block through the whistle. And when our running backs run past you, push them. Push them for extra yards at every opportunity you see. Our offense can get the job done. It's up to everyone on that field to work together as a team as they've done all year. When the Patriots get to Mile High, it should feel no different. The Denver Broncos will come to play on Sunday. When we talk about special teams, the Patriots special teams is coordinated by Jeremy Springer. He was hired in 2024 and retained with the Vrabel staff. Prior to that, he was the assistant special teams coordinator for the Los Angeles Rams from 2022 to 2023. The Patriots special teams has been a very solid unit in 2025. Their kicker, rookie Andy Borregales, has had a great year. Almost perfect from 40 yards in and perfect from 50 plus yards. He did his job against the Texans going 4 for 4. In the return game, Marcus Jones earned second team All-Pro as the special teams returner in 2025, returning 2 punts for touchdowns. Running back Travion Henderson also contributed to special teams as a kick returner who also netted a kick return touchdown at the beginning of the year. Broncos coverage, including our all-pro special teams player, Devin Key, are going to need to make sure that we engulf these backs and don't allow them to spring one on us. The Patriots also have a very capable punter in Bryce Behringer. Accurate, strong leg, great percentage of his kicks inside the 20. I would imagine they're going to try to keep the ball out of Marvin Mims' hands if he's back there. Our special teams could really come into play in this one. And for this game, I really think points may be at a premium, which means field goals are okay, touchdowns are okay. Just stack points. Just like we did last game, we're also going to make sure we keep an eye on the officiating crew in this one. And this time around, Alex Kemp will be the referee for this game. Kemp joined the NFL in 2014 and became a head referee in 2018. This will actually be his first conference championship game. For this crew, not nearly as many flags as the crew that we saw last, though we hope that they apply the same approach that they did in this past game, really allowing the guys to play. Their biggest penalties come from offensive holding and false starts. When we look at the Patriots, their highest committed penalties are actually in both those categories. So this is where Broncos country comes in. Once again, there's a huge opportunity to get loud, disrupt the huddle, make sure that they can't hear. We know that the Patriots do a lot of shifting and changing at the line of scrimmage, but even before that, as Sean Payton has been saying for the past few weeks, getting loud before that at Mile High is going to be key to disrupting their entire operation. Look, Broncos country, we all know this is an extremely rare situation that the Broncos are having to face on Sunday. We don't want the offense to operate any differently, but we also have to embrace the fact that anything but steady is asking a lot. Being at home, this offense will be able to communicate. And that's a good thing. We already know that this team leads with defense. And now more than ever, we're going to need them to step up in this one and make it a personal responsibility to get the offense some extra possessions to allow them to find some rhythm. And let's be real. The pressure's on the Patriots in this one. Not only have they been getting a bunch of guff about their strength of schedule and the performance of the opponents that they've faced in the playoffs so far, but now they're coming to Mile High, but not facing our franchise QB in the conference championship. Everybody is picking them to win this game and saying that they've got a smooth sail all the way to the Super Bowl. But Broncos country, we know that's not how it's going to go down. The Broncos have played team football all year. They've faced adversity all year. This is who they are. Everything they faced in 2025 has built to this moment. They are the number one seed and haven't been viewed or treated like it at all. Let's see what these experts say after the game on Sunday. Broncos country, what are you looking forward to seeing on Sunday when the Broncos play the Patriots? Let me know in the comments. As always, be kind. Talk to you soon, Broncos country.